is hosted by Tony Gapperstone. Thanks for tuning in. It's showtime.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. This is Tony Gapperstone. I am live in Redwood City, California, and I'm going to just double check. I don't even know what day it is. It's kind of weird. This is episode 321. I think it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday morning. It's California time, 9 a.m., and this is one of those weeks where my kids are off school. All my things are coming together. I have these meaningful, pivotal moments in my personal life, and you just have to go with it. But I am so stoked to have these two guys on the show today because I have been following them and intersecting with them, and we have this kind of history going back to a film festival that I want to talk about. They're super, super talented guys that I like their work, and one of their films we actually selected for the Bray Baker Film Fest, and because of all things that happened, we didn't get a chance to program it. But now they have a indie pilot, which is the new thing I want to get into with them, that indie makers are turning their work into TV shows. You don't just do indie films, you can do indie TV and episodic. So these two guys, Ash T and Johnny Ray Diaz, are here. Thanks for being on the show, guys. You laughing? You're laughing.
How you doing?
Hey, guys.
How you doing, Tony?
Oh man, my hair is still wet because I was just jumped out of the shower. But we're here, guys. We're here, and then I didn't want to reschedule, and they even pushed an hour earlier for me. So thank you guys so much for being. Let's introduce you. By the way, our producer Amy Cohen is on the other side, and she'll be hanging out with us, quoting. Make sure you follow the chat, see what these guys are up to. Click the links below and all that kind of stuff if you're watching on YouTube, or we're on Instagram Live right now as well. So we'd love to hear from you all if you're out there watching. So let's start with you, Johnny Ray Diaz. Why don't you say hello, introduce yourself, where you're from, anything else you want to say about yourself?
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Johnny Ray Diaz. I am the co-writer and director of Son of a Bikram, and I'm from Arizona, but I live in Los Angeles. And I'm gonna toss it over to Bikram Chowdhury, who's here. Looks like he's here on the interview right now, actually.
Let's go. Where is he? Hold up.
Hey, guys. It's me, Rog. No, okay. I'm not going to do that. I'm Ash T. That's actually a wig. And I'm a co-writer and actor for this film, Son of a Bikram. I was also from Los Angeles. Actually, I lived in Virginia my whole life, and then I moved to LA. And now I'm in Albuquerque because I spent all my money making this film.
Oh,
and I gotta live affordably.
Oh my gosh, dude. Is that true? Did you really have to move?
I did. I sold my
Wow.
house to make this film. And then I was like, I can't live in LA anymore. Rent's too high. But now I pay $800, for my house, or for the rent here in Albuquerque, and I'm living quite affordably. It's pretty nice.
All right, so there's so many things, and we only have 45 minutes. But okay, that's how I like to work with this. Let's just chat. So let's talk about the financial end of life right now. Life is expensive. Living in LA, making movies, all that kind of stuff. Did you just see the viral story about Jennifer Esposito, who made her feature film called Fresh Kills? Did you hear about this story?
No, I didn't hear about that. No.
Very, very similar. She made a feature film called Fresh Kills. It was wowing the festival circuit, winning all these things. She had Odessa Azayan before Odessa Azayan popped in this mafia. It was the women of mafia kind of period piece. And she what do you call second mortgaged her home and got $2 million to make the film.
Wow.
And it got distribution, but it only made $65,000. And I could be paraphrasing some of the stuff. So she had to sell her house. And, yeah, just really brutal. And she's been really vocal, and she's awesome. I'm following her. And she's just talking about the challenges of making films and also being an underrepresented voice as a woman and that kind of thing. So talk about the ins and outs of this. If you're making your own indie production, and how you go about that and how the decisions come to make the budget.
Yeah, I mean, basically, Johnny and I had been, as the writer's strike and the actor's strike in 2023 hit. And we had been working steadily in TV before then, but then after that hit, we weren't working for like a year, I think. And we said, yo, we got to make something. We got to do something because nothing's gonna happen right now. There's no auditions. The industry's dead. And, Johnny said, yeah, we got to make something that can level us up. But we also got to make something that we really love. So let's just go all out and put everything into this thing. And sell your house, Ash.
Yeah, I think Ash kind of touched on it, but it's just like one of those things where it's like I think a lot of people thought like after the strike, we're all going to get back to work and it's going to be this amazing thing. And it's like all these productions are kind of come back, and it was the complete opposite, right? Everything contracted, and suddenly all the work that you were doing kind of just went away. Ash had come to me with an idea that he had wanted to play Bikram Chowdhury in some kind of project. He had imagined playing him. Then I kind of pitched this idea to Ash, and I was like, well, what if you play his illegitimate son? So good. And he was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. And then we just kind of started like workshopping that idea a little bit. As Bikram is a sort of this larger than life character, iconic, and obviously went through some did some really, really bad things. And, we just thought as a fan of dark comedy, I thought like, let's kind of get into that world a little bit, and let's sit with a guy who desperately just wants to have a father. But also he finds out that his father is this icon, and he probably did some pretty bad stuff. What does that feel like?
And I'll say this, before we even stepped into this idea, we had a different idea that we'd written. We'd had another 12-page script like called Self-Help. And we were gonna make that thing, but then it just didn't work out. Do you remember why, Johnny? But
I don't remember exactly why that one didn't work out, but I do remember that was an initial idea before.
Yeah. So it's interesting in the creative process, you'll think about something that you want to make, and you'll write an entirely different script, right? And then you'll say, no, this isn't going to work out, and you start on something else. So you just got to keep on thinking about different stories that you want to make.
Yeah, there's always ones that get away. There's always things that you have to like trash, and I guess I'm just really impressed with let's throw a lot of money to this project. Let's make something happen, and let's do the TV show thing. Talk about the idea of making it into a TV show, because it can, in some way, it could exist as a short film on its own. But what a hell of a cliffhanger at the end that makes you want to watch the next episode that you've got there. So talk about the kind of like how you decided it was going to be a series, and the whole idea. Now you're in South by Southwest. Congratulations. Let's hear about the process of figuring out it was going to be episodic and making the pilot and what the hopes are for the next steps.
Tony, that's very astute that you say that, because Johnny and I were arguing about this very film, whether it should be a short film or an episodic. Like Johnny is definitely like, yo, this has a beginning, middle, and end. It is a short film. And I'm like, yeah, but there's so many themes in this film. It functions more as a pilot, and it also has an ending that requires another episode to understand what's happening. So Johnny would.
Yeah, I think for me is just like, I'm just so much more of a film guy. I consume way more movies than I do television.
Yeah, sure.
And
I'm very much like that too.
Yeah, so that's why I got into this business, is because of being such a lifelong movie fan. Once we finished the cut, we showed it to some people, and some people were like, "Oh, I kind of want more. I kind of do see this as like more of a pilot or a digital series of some sort." Even though the length wasn't quite as long as you might think for like a regular half hour, even though that entire model has changed as well. But I always saw it as more of a feature film, full length. And but then after talking to Ash a lot, and seeing that how much happens in the pilots, or in the pilot itself, I was like, yeah, I think you're right. This is kind of more of an episodic than anything else.
I think this is a really important conversation. I hear this a lot, with Bravemaker, we do screenwriting classes and we have these mixers and we do a lot of panels from the Bay to LA. And that is a really important question. When people have this idea, some people will say, well, it's a perfect short, or I think this is supposed to be a feature. Then they start to write the feature and it doesn't really have legs to be a feature. Well, now there's this whole vertical thing too, which is kind of, sweeping around, right? Like, so every story has to figure out where it fits best. And I'm really inspired because I have always wanted to do TV. I've been pitching my pilots. I have a ton for years upon years, but like you, Johnny, too, I'm like, I know how to make shorts. I'm on my 4th feature film now. This is what I can do. So I've been sticking there. But this project that I have going on right now, I'm like, I just went to Sundance. I saw all the episodic pilots made by indie filmmakers now. You all with South by Southwest. I'm like, maybe I need to go down this route and try this out. I think it's really, really, important because this could be the future, right? As everything crumbles and dies and it's like resurrecting into now indie makers are doing TV shows that are being bought, or they're finding ways to independently distribute them too. I mean, let's talk about, like, you obviously want this show to be picked up. You want somebody else to say, let me buy it, let me finance it, and all that kind of stuff. What are some of the thoughts? Because you have an amazing pitch deck. I don't know if we can show any of the pitch deck today, but if we can, or talk about just like the idea of what the next steps are and your hopes and what your plan is here with the project.
I do want to say this, because this is a filmmaking podcast, is that we did have a lot of executive producers say shave it down to 15 minutes. Our pilot is 18:27, and they're like, get it down to 15 because it's not a short, and Johnny's like, nope, I'm gonna stick to my guns here. It's it's good as it is. And so we just submitted it as a pilot in that regard. I think we're keeping it flexible right now. It could either be a feature length or it could be a pilot. We wanted to have both options available for producers. So Johnny and I, even before we got on this podcast, we were continuing to write the feature. And
cool.
So we have both. We have the pitch deck. It could be a series, it takes a different shape and route. But then we have the feature, which is an action comedy. So, Johnny.
No, I mean,
I always talk first. Johnny,
no, it's okay. It's okay.
First of all, you two are a great duo. You're really, really, really cool to see two guys who are not, there's all these brothers in the industry, but you two are friends and co-creators and collaborators, and it's really dope to see this happen. So go ahead, Johnny.
That's totally fine. I just kind of echo whatever Ash said too. I think we're sort of just kind of coming into this just sort of prepared. So we want to have the pitch deck as you've seen, the first draft of the feature. We're working on all those things so that when we do meet potential buyers or someone that's interested, and if they say, hey, I see this more as a feature, cool, we got that.
Yeah.
Actually, this more as a series, great, we have this idea fleshed out. I think it's more about just trying to be prepared for what could come. More than anything. And I know in today's landscape, it's probably harder than it has been a lot in the past, but we're just trying to do what we can control, and I think all we can control is trying to get the work done, and the rest from there is just kind of where the chips may lie.
So we all met at the Pasadena Film Festival 3 years ago, maybe ish. And we were both in the same short block, I believe. Or no, there was maybe 2 shorts before a feature. I think maybe that was it. But
wow,
yours
what
was
a memory you had.
I think
people, Tony.
Yeah,
good memory, man.
I have to say, Tony G has the most infectious energy at any festival.
Come on.
He enters the room and it's like, boom, Tony has arrived.
Thank you, Ash. I appreciate that. Well, I'm drawn to good people. I'm drawn to good quality work. And you're short, by the way, amazing. It's called Miracle Wood. It's short. It's 6 minutes long, if I remember correctly, too. Because I was like,
man, that's a good memory.
a short. Y'all, like, so smart to do it, because a short, and I think it also got a lot of film festival selections because of that. Because, well, it's good, but it's also like, as a film festival, when you find a good short, you can put it in a lot of different places. And so I wanted to program it because it's so good. It's also, it says a lot in a short amount of time. And I really resonate with some of the themes you were playing with there. But yeah, I just remember thinking, okay, cool. We made a touch point. then this is a great reminder to all of us out there watching, listening. These two, I mean, I've watched you. You're doing a lot of stuff. You're hustling, you're working, you're creating together. And so it's been, again, 3 years since we connected. Now you're on the podcast. I'm like, okay, someday, who knows? Maybe we'll get to work together, or I'll program another one of your films, or the relationships that we have bounce off into another. And I think we also have a lot of mutuals too. So I just love that part of the business, and seeing what doors can open as you make your own work. But so much appreciation and admiration for you all and what you're doing. It's really encouraging.
Thanks. I think Johnny and I think all three of us are actors, right? We all started out as actors, and if we could only act, that's all we would ever be doing. But the
100%.
problem is the industry sometimes is not fair, as you know.
Yeah.
Some people get picked out and they become superstars. But if you're not one of those people like us, we have to write and produce and create. Me and Johnny met in an acting class 8 years ago.
Dope.
Yeah. And we're always drawn to each other in acting classes, like who makes interesting dark comedies, right? And as we improv and we work together in class, we want to work outside of that as well, and write and produce and do these things. But I got to be honest, I don't enjoy writing or producing. I would prefer to act my whole life, but this is what we got to do. If you're not like always working on TV and film, you gotta make stuff.
Yeah.
How do you feel? How do you guys feel about that?
We need to clip. We got to clip that. That is so true, because I most people I know are now doing the multi-hyphenates, and we just are doing at Bravemaker. We're doing a whole conference, like a summit, called the Creative Multi-Hyphenate Summit in April, because of that very reason. Because that's how I started out too, 13, 14 years ago. I was just acting and waiting around and auditioning. And even with having reps, it's like you're still having to do a lot of work when you're just in that one lane. And then it hit me like, wait, I can write, I can produce, I can make a project for myself to act in. Let's just go that direction, and then find the right collaborators. So if you're still out there, it was just waiting for that role, for that person, as Mark Duplass said, to come and save you. It's not going to come. You got to figure out how to do it yourself. And it's very humbling. And that's why I think so many people leave, because they don't want to do the work. So kudos to you guys for doing the work. Well, yeah. So talk about the multi-hyphenate life that you all are doing, like the fact that you are writing and directing and producing and all that kind of stuff.
Well, I think I kind of said it already, is that you kind of have to do it now. I mean, there's not really, I think there are very few just straight actors now, unless you're already established or you've already kind of made a lot of work. That's different. But in this world now, it's kind of an expectation. And that's why I think a lot of content creators are getting opportunities, because they're sort of like, okay, this person can write stuff, they can produce stuff, they can kind of do everything on their own. So sort of set the standard now. And I know for myself, I started off as an actor, like Ash was saying, and I've really been exploring a lot more of the directing side, and that's something that I really enjoy a lot. So I'm hopeful too with this project that this will bring on more opportunities like that. I think more than anything else, I enjoy telling stories and figuring out how to do that. And acting is not the only way to do that. Writing is really hard. It's not my favorite thing either. But it's one of those necessary things that you have to keep working at and trying, and just kind of keep going after it.
Well, I also see you both doing a lot of stuff on social media as well. And that goes back to the multi-hyphenate, hey, if you're going to make the work and you're going to get the work selected, well, it's like, okay, then you also have to be promoting the work and building the social media platforms. Let's talk a little bit about that, because I see, just like what I'm realizing is powerful is, okay, yeah, I can post, promotional things about my work, and I can post, things of beautiful photos of myself. But I also want to show behind the scenes. I want to show how I'm doing it. And then also, like, I want to just have fun, I want to do sketches, which I see you guys doing too. It's really, really funny to watch and to see the interactions and the growth and the building. And if you're just listening to the podcast right now, I'm showing some sketches that Johnny is doing, some hot sketches that you might want to go and find him on his Instagram. But yeah, I just love to hear your thoughts about that. I mean, we are in a social media world, love it or hate it. It just is what it is. But what are some of your thoughts about the social media life and the using it to grow your platform, to make connections, to promote the work?
You know what I think is so interesting is when we started in the industry, being a YouTube creator was frowned upon.
Yeah.
And it was like, you could never be an actor if you're going to do YouTube sketches, right? You can never cross over. But now it's almost necessary to do it. And casting is actually asking. I see this on breakdown sometimes from my manager, my agent. It says, right, if you have a following or not. Insane, right?
Yeah.
That's for TV and film. Absolutely mind-boggling to me. And you look at this guy, Markiplier, who on YouTube, he has his audience, and then he says, I'm going to make a feature film and put it out and sell it to Regal.
Isn't that amazing?
He makes it for $3 million, and now it's made $21 million at the box office.
Yeah.
So I think social media, and I don't know really how to do it. I've seen people do it. I have friends like my friend Ksenia. She went from literally she started her entire Instagram account over again and built it to 265,000 followers. And she's getting deals, and people are asking these social media sketch people to actually be in their films. If you look at Weapons,
yes,
they asked I forget his name, but there's this guy that does really funny sketches, and he got to be on Weapons. He didn't even have to audition for it. Zach Kreger just asked him, hey, can you be in my film? Okay, that's one of many examples. If you look at Curry and Cooper, they're making YouTube sketches, they're making Instagram sketches. And they now have a deal with A24 for their newest film, Obsession. So if you can really transform your mindset and say, I'm going to make some great sketches. And I think the hard part of it is coming up with really creative, funny ideas that go viral. But if you can do it and you can stay consistent and do that every day, it is a definite path into TV and film, which I'm seeing now this year more than ever and last year.
Yeah. I'm seeing that happen so much. I'm sure you all are aware of that show called I Love LA. I was watching that show, seeing it's all about the influencer life, but how many people that I know are on Instagram that had, day player roles or guest stars on that show because of their social media following, because it's about influencers, right? That makes sense, right?
Wow.
The other thing that I think is really cool is, yes, it is a way to get noticed, to get in, but I think it's also a way to build reps, as you all know too, right? We're in charge. I am writing and I'm directing and I'm friggin' in my little studio doing these sketches, and I'm acting and I'm directing. And I think, 10, 15 years ago, this would have been a hack move. But now it's entrepreneurial, right? Now this can launch you and this can build you. And it also, I think, honestly, it's really satisfying. I'm proud of maybe I'm getting thousands of views. Okay, they're not in the hundreds yet or millions, but I personally am benefiting from the creativity because I'm having to think on my feet. I'm writing, I'm directing, I'm editing. This is super fun. So if you're listening out there and you're bummed because you're not acting, directing, creating more, well, then it's on you. You can be acting, directing, and creating more because you can do it right from your phone. And you know this, people, right? We know that this is true out there, so just make it happen. Just do it.
Yeah, and I think for me, I have such a love-hate relationship with social media. I mean, there's literally times where I'm just like, I want to delete it all. I want to erase everything. And I think that there's a balance, I think, because especially as an artist, you want to create work that that you love, and you want to release things out there that matter to you. And I know I sometimes, just me personally, can kind of feel a little bit, this isn't the stuff I really want to be doing, or I'd rather spend my time doing this. But it has sort of become a bit of a necessary evil. And then in a way, like I think what you said, Tony, is like you're getting reps in.
Mhm.
That is the truth. Like you are still working on the craft and honing the craft. It just might look a little different. But I think because I have this sort of grandiose vision in my head of like, I want to be making stuff that's like really cool. Like I want to be like Paul Thomas Anderson. I want to be artistic, funny, like cool projects, and it's you just can't get to do that all the time, right? And so you have to find what works for you. And Ash and I, when we met in acting class years ago, we were in a sketch comedy group called the Humor Endorphins way back in the day, and we used to shoot sketches and put them on YouTube. And it was fun, honestly. Like I think one of the best things was just hanging out with friends, shooting something cool, something that makes you laugh, and just putting it out there. That's a great thing. I wish we had almost kind of kept that up a little bit. We probably would have a major following at this point now.
Yeah.
But when we were doing it, it wasn't really like that prevalent, So, but yeah, it's just the landscape has changed, and you have to kind of adapt to it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's crazy, like how timing is just everything, right? Like you're playing chess one day and then someone takes the board away from you and they put a different one, and it's like, oh God, here we go. But, like Johnny was saying, I think with the YouTube sketches, we just got to a point where we were tired of editing the things.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work to make those things. It was the most fun that we've ever had in life. I want to look at the other angle. Like Jacob Elordi is lucky. He's talking about how he doesn't have a social
That's right.
media.
So
how fun would it be, Jacob, to be you?
Yep.
And just act all the time.
Yep.
That'd be great. Do I sound bitter? I am.
That's privilege. That's a privilege right there. Shoot. Yeah.
Well, I think that, there's a few people like that, like Bradley Cooper is like that as well. And I think you either have to have social media or you don't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's any in between where you're like, I'm going to maybe kind of post a little bit or just kind of like not do it. That doesn't really serve you. It's like you either have to be all in or out completely.
Yeah.
So somebody can't look at like, oh, well, does he have a following? Well, he doesn't have social media. Right. He can't have a following. Oh, okay. All right. Well, it's better than having, 200 followers or whatever it is, So I think you have to kind of decide what works better for you.
Dylan O'Brien just said, based on his recent film Send Help with Rachel McAdams, he was saying he thinks not having social media cost him some jobs. It's one of those things where out of sight, out of mind. But he still has had a pretty great career, right? He's doing a lot of stuff, and the guy is working. But he even recognized there was a cost to that. But I'm sure he also gained, some mental health that he's happy to have had, Well, guys, I'm really happy for you and impressed with the work called Son of a Bikram. If you all are going to South by Southwest, please make a point to find these guys and watch their show. Do you have any sense of the schedule yet? Is it released?
Yes, it's March 14th and 17th. Those are the two premiere dates. Yeah.
Awesome.
And we're going to be playing with 5 other indie pilots.
So great, guys. I love South by Southwest. Who knows? I might be going. I have an opportunity, a loose invitation. We'll see. I don't have a project, but we'll see if I get there. But you all, March 14th, March 17th, go. You get to see Mr. Ash in a Speedo for a good portion of this pilot. It's also something you really haven't seen before, which is why I'm really happy for you all. And I think you took a big risk on yourself. You're telling your story, and it's shot well. It's acted amazingly. And I think this, people are going to like, wait, that's it? That's all we get? Where's the next episode? They're going to want to see what's next. And I hope regardless, you just feel super satisfied with the work and make some great connections. I think you've been to South by before, yeah?
Never. This will be the first time. Yeah.
Both you guys first time? Okay, cool. Awesome.
What's funny is you always say, I'll go there once I have a film there.
You are like the 1% of people who actually get to have that happen, because so many people say that, and it's so hard because the odds really are hard. There's so many submissions. So yeah, it's not just luck. You worked hard. Everything kind of coalesced at the right time. And I would encourage you, don't wait. You all, I'm talking to everybody else out there. Don't wait. Go, because I've been going to Sundance for I just had my 14th year, which when we moved to Boulder, Colorado, here's your invitation to join our Brave Maker house. But I have made so many cool connections and got so much inspiration, even though I keep not getting selected for Sundance. But I got selected twice for South by. So I really like South by, and it's a good community, good barbecue, as they all say, and the opportunity for relationships. You're building so many cool connections with people. So yeah.
What are your tips to prepare for South by and be in the South by? What would you say?
Okay. Well, get your intentions. Obviously, figure it out. Like, what's that list of the goals? You know, obviously, you want to get some financing to sell this, to find some partners to make the Son of a Bikram episodic come to life or feature. So have those things. Are there people that are going there that are already attached to other projects? So do your research. That's one thing. I think even when we were in Pasadena, I wrote a blog. I should send it to you guys, or maybe I can look for it right now and multitask while I'm doing this. But I didn't do a research even at that Pasadena Film Festival, and the film that was playing with our film, if I remember correctly, there was a real big star who had been on a Disney show. And if I had maybe done the research, I might have been a little bit more equipped to have conversations and to build relationships. So spend the time looking at all those films that are playing, obviously, in your block, but also you need to go to other shows and films and then make those connections, because you have a leg up already. You already can be saying, oh, come see my show. And hopefully you have QR codes on your phone and promotional material, or giving out Speedos, or obviously, dude, you're going to be wearing that wig around, which is clutch. Watch Ash's social media. See how he's bringing the character to life, right? That Rag is on his social media as a character. So people are instantly going to be connecting that with you. I think that was so smart of you to do. And, you know, maybe people won't know the difference of who's Rag and who's Ash, but who cares? You're doing like a real cool artistic expression. So I would say all that stuff is be prepared, have good promotional materials, do your research, find out what your intentions are, what are some goals that you want to make. And here's the thing I kind of get with my expectations, I kind of get a little humbled just coming back from Sundance. I have a follow-up spreadsheet that is enormous, like all the people, all the cards, all of the Instagram, you know, so have a little system. Some people still do the old school cards. So you're taking a picture of that card, because I always lose the card, and then write something or take a selfie with them. Like, hey, let's selfie and let's connect. Because everybody talks. Everyone's like, yeah, we should get lunch, or we should get coffee when we're back in LA, or let's do a Zoom. And I'm in the third week after Sundance right now, and I'm still following up on some connections. And I had, this is maybe a little bit of an overshare, but also expectation reality check, is I had a couple guys come to one of our parties who were like big producer energy, right? They came in the room, you know, and they literally had $100 bills, and they were like passing out $100 bills. Like they gave me at some point near $600 in $100 bills. I'm not even joking. They were like trying to make a statement, and turns out they had invested in a couple films up there. And so I'm like, you know, I'm perked up, like, cool, let's talk. One guy even grabbed my phone, put his number in my phone. He's like, call me. I'm like, yes, okay, let's. Still, the conversation has not solidified. We had an appointment at one point. He canceled on the very minute we were supposed to jump on a Zoom. Like, just wild stuff like that. And I'm like, this is so industry. This is so typical. Like, just got to keep going. I text both of these guys. Now, one's in Texas, one's in London. Like, hey, when are we going to meet? He's like, let's do something end of the week. I'm like, yes, what day? Waiting. You know, so that kind of stuff just crushes the soul, you know. So kind of like leveling the expectation, just figuring out
so why do you think that is, Tony? I'm just curious, like what, because I feel like I experienced that so much, and it's such a frustrating thing. What do you think that is?
When I tend to cope with optimism, I tend to be an overly optimistic person to a fault, which I think sometimes we have to be in this industry. And then I also have hard crashes. So when I look at the optimistic side, I go, people with money, people in high positions, they're busy. They truly are busy. And so I am just a little cog in the wheel. They'll get to me eventually. So I got to just kind of wait patiently. Think of selling a car, whatever. I'm having these conversations little by little by little. And some of them have taken me years to solidify. I have had 2 different big projects. Like one is my feature film, and the other is, transparently, like the house that I live in. I had to find investors to be able to buy a house in the Bay Area in California because it's so expensive. So I have a co-equity share, and it took us a year to do that. Same thing with like my feature film. One of them, 10 years of people tracking down and talking. And so I think it is just a game of waiting. So that's the optimistic part. Is I don't think a lot of people are trying to write me off, maybe 60% of the time, 70% of the time. And then I think there is, on the pessimistic view, there are people who just like to talk, and they're like people who like to feel important. Right. And there's even some sort of power wielding that's happening there to put me off or to cancel or to whatever. So that's kind of how I try to make sense of it, and try to feel like it's not me, it's them. And if they ever want to come around, sure. I have said it was worth the wait, yes, but I also would like to say, what's with this dude? Like, why?
Yeah.
What? Like that kind of stuff can really get me. So
yeah, for sure.
You've been in the industry long enough.
Yeah, no, I hear you. It happens a lot, and it's very frustrating. It's very frustrating. So,
like people say, hey, we should definitely meet up for coffee later. Doesn't happen.
Yeah. That's a sketch in and of itself that we could do, right? Like, just like, hey, yeah, let's do it. And then it's like nothing, crickets, like, or what people really mean. Never gonna hang out with you, just saying it so it feels good. Okay, like that kind of stuff I think is real.
That's what I feel like I want to start saying. Like, as I said, goodbye to somebody, great talking to you. I'll never see you again, but farewell.
Let's do it. We should do a sketch. Let's make it happen. Let's do it.
Should we never see each other again?
Yeah, or just like you're lying.
Yeah,
I think you're lying right now.
Hey, let's get coffee. I don't believe you.
Sorry to completely disrupt the conversation again, but I had another question for you about something.
Oh, you got a question for me? Bring it.
Yeah,
this is good. I love this, guys. This is great.
You have like these 5,000 workshops and sessions and stuff.
Yes.
What do you think is a good way to approach this? Do you go to the things that are really big, the keynote sessions, and you got to wait 40 minutes in line to even get into these things? Do you go to the movies? Do you just hang out? Like, how do you choose?
Yes.
Because if you can probably only make 3 or 4 events a day if you were waiting in line, and then how do you choose between those?
Okay. So South by is also very weird when it comes to the lines and the ticketing, and unless you get certain high ticket passes, which I did not when I went. So they don't do like reserved ticketing like Sundance does.
Yeah.
So you go to the lines, and you might be in line with a badge that you paid for all access and not get in. It's really odd. So I try to go, all right, again, expectations. I want to go to this movie. Yes, show up early. Try to see, try to make sure you have like your top 5 or whatever for the week that you're going to go. But then also, this is the thing that I think has been making my time worth it, is like that time waiting in line is industry time.
Right.
So it's like, who's in front of me? Who's behind me?
Right.
You got your promotional materials. You're talking up your stuff because you just don't ever know. And sometimes that phrase can really be annoying in the industry. You just never know what's going to happen. but it is true. And I think the optimistic side of my entrepreneurial spirit will go, I can build an audience. I'm building audiences right here. Even if I gain a couple followers on social media, or I make a connection with someone else who has a film or whatever. It's like, keep that in mind, because that'll be, I think, a way to make it worth it when you don't get in the movie, or you feel let down, that kind of thing. And South by is way bigger than a Pasadena Film Fest or even Sundance. It's like so spread out. Like, I did the scooters a lot. I scooted around Austin because things are like, 5 miles away here or 10 miles away there. And then there's so much, there's live music and there's tech. when I was there, I was really just like, I want all the film stuff. I want to make sure I'm going to those workshops, and I want to make sure I'm going to those movies. So I tried to go, what are the high ticket things I want to make sure I see? Like, I wanted to see a couple premieres in that, the main theater with the big marquee. Like, that was important for me to be able to get some photos there and have that experience being in that theater. And then workshop wise, looking at are there New Mexico people that you want to make sure you're meeting, or people that could be a meeting in person eventually, people who are doing workshops. And a lot of the workshops are all different size. Some of them are huge auditoriums, and some of them are only like 100 people. So you can really get in line and meet a person after a workshop that could potentially be a real in-person meeting someday.
Nice.
Okay.
Did you ever go? Hey Tony, did you ever go to like any of the tech stuff or any of the other things? Like, I was kind of thinking, like, if you are looking for, let's just say, possible investors for a feature, things like that, looking at other avenues besides the film. I don't know if that's something you explored at all.
I didn't go to any of the tech things because there is a lot of other tech that is not film adjacent, really. Like, there's a lot of just like, there's apps that aren't even related to film, which I think is really interesting. And if I'm honest too, transparently, I'm like, South by can be way more overwhelming than a Sundance, because Sundance is a lot. It's like film, but there are 55 workshops and 100 films, whereas South by is that plus TV, plus tech, plus live music, plus all the Austin barbecue that everyone says you have to eat. So it can be a lot. I'm very extroverted and I get energized by a lot of activity. So I know I'm going to be going on 4 or 5 hours of sleep a night, just because I try to take in as much as I can morning till night. So on your days, like on the 14th and 17th, I would just, I don't know how you guys are wired, but just reserve your energy to focus on that, to be super present, to be promoting. Like, I literally also, those things sell out, but I would say, get your self-promotion stuff happening the night before and the morning of your premiere, so that, because you might sway somebody to get in line and to come watch your show. And I'm sure you're also emailing as many people as possible, press, all that stuff, to get butts in seats so they could see, you in person and see the film, see the pilot in person. I think that will make a difference too. So you're going to want to budget in some time around your screenings for that reason too.
Cool.
Yeah, when we're looking at publicists, it was like anywhere between 2,500 to 7,500. So I'm like, Johnny, I'm just going to email everybody in the press and get them to watch it. And I've gotten responses from them too.
Dope.
Yeah.
Well, I know we're going over time, but I have like 5 or 10 more minutes. I'd love to just quickly talk about that press stuff. So are you going to just do self-promotional press stuff and not hire a publicist?
That's what I did. That's what I decided. I was like, you know what? I don't want to spend 2,500. So Johnny, let's create this Son of a Bikram page. That's going to be our marketing. And then I have a press list that South by Southwest gave us, and that's like 750 contacts. I'll just email them all separately. And
I think that's smart. Listen up, everybody. This is really, really huge and important. You're spending a ton of money on the project already. You have to then fly yourself out, because I don't know. Did they give you any stipends or anything as a selected? No, right? No. Yeah. So you're spending thousands of dollars just to even get there, and then the food and then the lodging. So press on top of that, you're super smart. And I think you will get eyes on it. By the way, Son of a Bikram, just say that 5 times. It's amazing. It's perfect. Son of a Bikram, Son of a Bikram. It's such a fun, catchy title, and you're going to get eyes on it just because of that. And you will, I think, also stand out because you are doing the promotion on your own, and you got the character. So I think you all are smart. All of us out there, we have to be wise about our money and how we go about this. And we have our own publicists on the phone in our pocket. I think we really can leverage that. Does it take a lot of time and energy and sleepless nights? Yeah, but I think it's worth it. Yeah, guys, this is great.
So fun.
We should hang out sometime.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. I'll stay connected, and you all are the epitome of what we are talking about here, Bravemaker, with being a multi-hyphenate. And I want to quickly promote what we should get you all to be panelists on this someday. But our Bravemaker April 11th multi-hyphenate summit is happening. And we just booked Steve Canals, who is the creator and writer of Pose. He's going to be with us in person alongside all these amazing movers and shakers on shows like Task and Boots, and people who work with Ryan Coogler, that's D'Lo Lewis at Proximity, and just other people from the Bay to LA who are making their stories come alive without the permission of others. So get your tickets. You can fly out to the Bay. If you're already in the Bay, just drive over to Redwood City. It's a one-day conference. It's a room that only holds 95 people, y'all. So it's going to be a very intimate experience with these movers and shakers. And if you're out of town, fly in. It's worth it. We have hotel discounts and all sorts of stuff. And I'm not just talking, but I think you too, we should get you booked for next year's 2027 Multi-Hyphenate Summit, because you're doing it too. And it's really inspiring to watch. So thanks for your time today, guys.
Hey, Tony, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
and
thanks a lot, Tony.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm your fans. I want to encourage you to go and look up big _Ash_T_X and follow this guy and watch Rog do his thing, shaking the Speedo, wearing the wig. It's very, very fun. And then Johnny Ray Diaz. Check out these two on social media. They are definitely ones to watch. All right, guys, take care. I'll see you. And I mean it, hopefully soon. Everybody else, make sure you keep tuned here. I have another podcast happening tomorrow with Melanie Loren, who was just in the Sundance film called Shitheads with Dave Franco, and she gets to be in the film married to a very fun actor who we're going to talk about tomorrow, who you know from all sorts of film and TV. Don't forget, Bravemaker is a 501c3 nonprofit. We exist to elevate brave stories, to support filmmakers and make sure filmmakers and creatives are prioritizing their mental health. And our whole mission revolves around justice, diversity, and inclusion. We want to create a level playing field for all people. You are included in that. And if you feel like you want to support, you can go to bravemaker.com/donate to become a donor today. It's all tax deductible. We have 75 people every single month who give us anywhere from $5 to $300 so that I could fly all over the place, but also I can hire people, our staff, our insurance, our rent, our legal fees, all the different things. And we're building grants. We give $6,000 away every year to help people seed their next projects. And this year will be the first ever $1,000 first-time producer grant given to a producer who is bringing a feature film to life. Stay tuned, more about that soon. I love this work. Thank you all. Please come to our film festival, July 8th through the 12th. We're really excited. It's our 8th annual. And support indie filmmakers like Ash and Johnny Ray Diaz. Thanks, guys. I'll see you soon. Take care. Brave stories change the world. You are the story. See you, everybody. Bye.
Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook at bravemaker.org. Like, subscribe, and share. To become a monthly donor, text the word BRAVEMAKER to 44321 or go to bravemaker.com/donate. Thanks for tuning in.